Thank you very much. I hope I will have something to use it. This will be a very practical part for the waste management and the procurement, I think. So you might see a little bit different way of it. Because this is how we are doing in Stockholm and what we think about public procurement and how we use it. And maybe in the end there will be some comments also of what can be modernized in the way. This is a lot what we are doing already and using the procurement for today, and a lot of things we heard during the day. I think we always have tried to do it a little bit, at least, inside the regulations that we have now. Our challenge for sustainable waste management is awareness, choice of technology, finance, operation, environmental demands. That is what we are basing our ideas for and our work. So we talk about the sustainable city, not just about waste and waste management and sustainable waste management. It's the city all over that has to have this service that we like to purchase. So it's not only the waste, it's the waste to energy, it's the water treatment and everything that is involved in it. We are of course using the European Union waste hierarchy when we talk about it. So we are not thinking only about money. It's also that we have to provide a service to our citizens. It looks like this. If you come to Stockholm, it's always nice to see how it's practically worked with different parts of it. And that means that we are collecting the household waste, and we have for about 40 years now procured contractors for us to do that. And what we normally ask ourselves is there a market? Is it real? Is it a real market? Is there competitive companies? And when we talk about what we have seen for collection, yes, there is. This means that we're making procurement today, and we divide the city in 12 districts. We heard about different speakers here talk about lots. So this is a way of thinking for that. That makes it also possible for smaller and medium-sized companies to be involved in the service. Today we have 5 contractors for collection of waste. We have 1 contractor for the food waste, and we have 17 contractors for bulky waste. And they are both locally, regional, and we have some international companies also as contractors. So we have all the parts already seen in our business. And we do that for the citizens of Stockholm. I saw a figure about, or a mention in the program about the environmental demands. Is it possible to do? Yes, we have put in environmental demands in our tendering materials. So we have had a development, even if I have not started the year 1920 with biogas truck and electrical trucks, but still from the 90s we have had biogas truck. We have said to our contractors, you should have that to be able to work in Stockholm. And today we have 100% of the trucks collecting waste in Stockholm running on non-fossil fuel. Only one problem with that: we cannot be better. But I can stay with that question for the moment. We also think a little bit further away for the future. Could we put new environmental demands in our tendering materials, in the specification? We have tried a little bit about emission bubbles. We are talking in hybrid trucks and things like that to even develop ourselves in the way of making specification and use the regulation as it is today. We also look into the sustainable waste management for treatment of the waste. Again, we ask us the question, is there a market? Is it a real market? Are there competitive companies? Is it possible to have it? We have other legislation in Sweden that says that on regional level, the authorities should see that there will not be an under or over capacity for treatment of the waste. This practically means, can I build an incinerator plant close to another incinerator plant inside the city and have a real competition? Maybe not. And this means that I have to be aware that when I set up the specification, of course I can ask, can I make lots and send one lot away to another incinerator plant, for instance, to Hamburg or something like that? Is that something which fulfills the ideas we have with sustainability in long term for the waste management? So I will say there is a market, there are competitive companies for some of the treatment of waste, but not for all. This is something that we, when we talk about procurement, discuss. We will only have one bid when we send out the tender material. How should we act? Is it negotiations that is the only way for us? Could competitive dialogue be something to have and use for it? We will probably try different ways in the future when we come to that. Somebody has to pay for it. It's always that. There is a figure on it. But we look into it in the way that investments, could it be PPP, private-public partnership? Is it possible to use that? Can we use BUT, build, operate and transfer? We know we can use private contractors as we have it for the moment. We know that the property owner in Stockholm pays for the equipment inside his house and building, and that will be one way that we can have to use it. And we have a waste fee, so it's not tax money. It's something that you pay for the service you get. And this is way we have to be aware of all the time when we send out tendering materials. We make specification and do that. And there can be, of course, more ideas of making it more simple for companies to give us an offer when we send out the tendering material. But there also has to be probably some more initiative in the directives that gives the public procurement organization also possible to have the flexibility, for instance, when there is not a real market for the product we like to buy, the service to collect the waste, for instance, or treat the waste. So I will say this is maybe our most important part when we talk about waste. There is only one word, and we have to be careful with it. And that is also something that I think we should take with us when we talk about procurement and how to deal with that. Thank you.